Hello students. Tonight we're going to be looking at two-way tables, lesson 9C. So go ahead and you can pause the video right here while you flip to that and get your pencil ready. And then when you come back, we'll begin. Okay, so hopefully you're ready. Our essential question today will be, how do I read and make a two-way table? So first we'll need some definitions and then we can dive in. So a two-way table to begin with is a table that displays two categories of data collected from the same source. And what that means is that we're going to, sometimes you'll ask two questions to the same group of people. So that would be, for instance, if we look down at our first example, you would ask the question, do you like country music? And then you could separate the same group of people into male and female. And then you have two different categories, do you like country music, and your gender, and it's all coming from the same source. So a joint frequency is each entry in the table. Marginal frequencies is the sum of the rows and columns. And relative frequency is a ratio of the value of a subtotal to the value of the total. So if we look, let's kind of look at these definitions while looking at one of these tables. So this entire table itself is a two-way table. We're comparing gender to whether or not you like country music. The joint frequency would be each individual entry. The marginal frequencies aren't listed here because I would sum the row. I'd add 24 plus 28, and that would be my marginal frequency out here, a total. We'd actually have a brand new column, a total column, and a total row. And we could sum them going down as well, 24 plus 18. Then a relative frequency would be where I compare, I make a ratio to the two. So maybe I'm comparing the number of males who like country music to the total population. So if I added all the numbers up, that would be my total population. And then if I wanted to write a relative frequency, I would divide. I would say 24 divided by my total. So let's answer some of these questions in our first table. How many female students like country music? Well, I'll go to female students, and I'll go to like country music, yes, and I can say, oh, well, that's 18. Right here we have 18. 18 females say yes to country music. How many male students do not like country music? So how many students do not like country music? Male students, I go to male. I have 28 males that do not like country music. So among the students who like country music, so when we're looking at that, we can see that, oh, well, we're really only interested in this column. So among the students who like country music, what is the relative frequency of those who are female? So this would be the total that I'm really looking at. I'm slimming down. I'm really zooming in on just the people who like country music. So my total will be 24 plus 18 is 42. And then I say, well, out of those 42 people, how many are female? Well, 18 are female. So to find the relative frequency, I would say 18 divided by 42 is approximately equal to 0.43 or 43%. So 43% of the people who like country music, so remember we're zoomed in on the country music, are female. Okay, so let's see if we can build a frequency table from a bar graph. So we'll go down to here, and we're going to look at, so our girls are the no shading and our boys have the slightly shaded. So let's look, if I go to my 6th grade boys, there are 50. And then my 6th grade girls looks like about 35. And then my 7th grade boys, let's see, go to 7th grade, go to boys, it looks about 75. And then my 7th grade girls, so here's my girls, and I go up to that, and that looks about 45. And then 8th grade looks even at 60 for both genders. So that's how we can build a two-way table from a bar graph. Next, we're going to try to see if we can look at some marginal frequencies inside of our bar graph. So go ahead and flip over. Okay, so on this problem, you randomly survey students in a school about whether they got the flu after receiving the flu shots. The results of the survey are shown in a two-way table. So what percentage of the students in the survey received a flu shot and still got the flu? Well, before we can even answer that question, we should really understand our totals. So let's finish filling in our two-way table. So if we add across, 8 plus 3 is 21. I'm adding across. And then I'll add across for my no flus. 27 plus 32 is 59. Then I'll do the same thing, but I'm going to go down now. So 8 plus 7 is 35. And 13 plus 32 is 45. And lo and behold, if I add across and add down, they should both equal the same number. If these do not equal the same number, something went wrong in your calculations. So 35 plus 45 is 80, and then 21 plus 59 is also 80. So we feel good about that. So now we're ready to answer our question. What percentage of the students in the survey received a flu shot and still got the flu? So what we're looking at is we want to zoom in on who received the flu shot. So we're looking for this column, yes, people that received the flu shot. That's a yes. How many people? 35 received the flu shot. So that's going to be my denominator. So that's the total people that received the flu shot. And the question's asking what percentage of the students in the survey received a flu shot and still got the flu. So we know that 35 people received the flu shot, and 8 of those people got the flu. So we can do 8 divided by Okay, so I just made a mistake. And what percentage of students in the survey received a flu shot and still got the flu? So we really have 8 out of 80. My bad. 80 people were in the survey, and 8 people received the flu shot and got the flu. So we're zooming in on 8. I apologize for my mistake. And 8 out of 80 is 10%. So we had 8 people who received the flu shot and still got the flu. So that's why we had 8. And how many people were surveyed? 80. So it's 8 out of 80. I apologize for that. Okay, so find and interpret the marginal frequencies of the survey. So what we can say is that 21 people had the flu. We can say 59 people did not have the flu. We can say 35 people got the flu shot, and we can say 45 people did not get the flu shot. So that one's pretty straightforward. So what I'd like you to do right now is go ahead and try number 5 on your own. Pause the video, try number 5, and then you can compare your results with mine. So in case you're kind of lost on how to even begin this, here's a quick diagram of what your two-way table should start to look like. You could switch these up, so if you've already written with grade over here and where you eat across the top, that is perfectly fine. But you should have it set up somewhat like this. These can be switched. So I have my where you eat along the side and my grade along the top. So now I'll put total right here, so we can go ahead and fill in the information from the information given, and then we can answer questions B and C. So go ahead and do that, fill it in, find your marginal frequencies, and then answer B and C. And then we can compare. So pause here and do that. So hopefully you took the time to fill in your frequency table, and now we can answer B and C. So if we're looking for the percent of students in the survey, so we know there's 100 students total that were surveyed. Try not to make the mistake that I made earlier. There's 100 students, and what percent of the students in the survey eat breakfast? Well, these students eat breakfast at home, and we're looking for breakfast at home, so at home, and we can go across and we say, oh, 52 students eat their breakfast at home, so we have 52 out of 100 is equal to 52%. So what percent of the students that were surveyed are in 8th grade? So let's see, so we know that there's 100 students total that were surveyed, and then if we go and we look at our table, that are in 8th grade, well, there are only 30 students that are in 8th grade, so we can say that is 30%. So hopefully you got those two numbers, and that is it for this lesson. Thank you, and I hope you have a great evening.